Good morning everyone. So today's video is something a little bit different. Final video before the Kubota goes home, and we're going to be pitting the 6930 against the Kubota. You might ask how we're going to pit them together. Well, we're going to hook on the slurry tanker, fill it with watery slurry, and both tractors will be pulling the same tanker on the same trip to see which one comes out on top. So we're going to be pitting the 6.8 litre 6-cylinder of the Deere against the 6.1 litre 4-cylinder of the Kubota, and see which comes out on top. Two places we're going to test it. One is we're going to be starting off roughly where the Kubota is sitting, and we're going to pull the whole way right up around out onto the laneway and up to the corner, and we'll stop then at the same point with both tractors and or measure actually on the video with both tractors and just see which one pulls best and that on that bit of a track. The next one we'll try then is at the end of the lane. We'll be turning right out the end of the lane and up the hill, and right up over the hill then there's a pole about a quarter of a mile up there, and it'll be a straight pull between the two tractors and just see which one comes out in first on top. Be quite interesting to see. So yeah, we'll get the slurry tanker onto the Kubota, get it filled, and we'll get the first part of it filmed now. May not just do the John Deere one straight away because I've leave the Kubota home, so I'll do the Kubota now anyway, and I can finish the video later on this evening or tomorrow, see what way it works out. So let's get going at it. So we are lined up, and the start point is there's a line here just below there's a wash grid here for catching any of the washing. So we'll just line the right hand wheel, we'll be lining up on it. So what we'll do is we'll take off from here, and then it's to measure it right up around the corner, and we'll see. I'll keep an eye on the miles per hour, well it's actually in kilometres, and see what kilometres we're doing when we get up here. So let's see, here we go, and we're off. Now there's a pole up here, we'll go to the line on the pole, and bang, there we go. We were doing 20 kilometers per hour when we got to there. So not bad, I suppose, considering there's about 11 ton in this tanker when it's full, and it's all uphill. So it'll be interesting to see how the 6.9 does in the same radius. Now, so we're lined up now. We'll be just coming to the end of the lane will be the start point, so roughly about there, and then there's another pole up here. We'll see how we do on it as well. So let's go. Now it's quite a steep pull right up here. She's away on. And here's the pole here. Bang, there we go, and we're doing 32.8 kilometers an hour. So not bad from the Kubota at all. So it's going to be interesting now to see how the 6.9 does in the same conditions. So we're just going to turn around. We'll get it turned around up here, and we'll head back then to the yard and get hooked off. So onto the 6.9 now. We better get lined up in the same place. So wheel goes on this, there's like a small crack here on the concrete, so we'll get lined up on the crack, which is just about there, and we'll get ready then to go, and we'll see how we get on with the 6.9. So there we go. So it's decent enough pull up here. No point changing gear coming out there because we'd run out of steam. And here we go now, up the hill. So it's up now to the second pole. 20 kilometers an hour was the speed that the Kubota got up to. We're just over 20, so there we go. I think it was around 22, 23-ish. So a little bit more power. I'd say lower down torque on the 6-cylinder, but time-wise, not really sure how much of a difference there was in that. So we'll see. We'll play the two of them back together and see what the difference is. Now, so this is now trial number 2, and it's a heavy pull here up the hill. And we get changed into the next gear. And we are now gathering a little bit of pace now. And there we go, and we're doing over 30, so roughly around, hard just to see on this because I haven't got the digital display like in the Kubota. So it looked like it was about like 33 or 4 kilometers an hour I was doing at the same point. So this is quite interesting. Here we have a side-by-side now view of the two tractors taking off. Now, very close in horsepower, these tractors. Kubota, I think, is slightly lighter. We'll check the weights now in a few minutes. But one of the distinct advantages that the Kubota had up here was that we didn't have to make a gear change. It had 6 changeable gears in the gear we took off in. The Dio had to make a gear change coming up the hill. So you can see Kubota has just beaten the Dio. See that? It's about a second quicker. Even though the Dio was doing 2 kilometers an hour faster at the same point. So the gear change coming up the hill killed it. Absolutely killed it. It lost that second of momentum. It's just the way the gearing is. So that was that. Here we are now, we're climbing up the second hill. This is a really steep pull up here. And again, fairly evenly matched here at this. If anything, you see the Kubota now slightly ahead. There was another gear change for the Dio. Similar thing again. And again, the Dio was quicker passing the pole, but bang, see that? It's about a second and a half quicker, the Kubota. So why was that? Well, a couple of reasons. And maybe we'll have a little look at those now. And we'll get the specs and the facts sheet out. And we'll go through why I think, anyway, that the Kubota bet the 6930 6-cylinder. Let's go into it and see. So here we go. Let's dig a little deeper into this and see if we can get some answers to why a 4-cylinder Kubota had pulled the 6-cylinder Dio. Now, we knew that it was going to be close because from driving the Kubota, we knew that it had fairly good power. I still didn't think it would beat the Dio. Even when I'd done both pulls, I thought the Dio was just slightly ahead. Especially after I seen that it was slightly quicker at the finish line on both occasions. So let's have a little look and see why was it outpulled. We'll just flick to the last page in both brochures. We'll go right to where the spec is. So here is the data end of the business end of the two tractors. We'll just see now try and keep them fairly close together so it's easy to video both. So we'll start off with the Kubota 4-cylinder. Engine power output followed right across. We had the largest one, 170 horsepower straight out of the box. So she had 170 horsepower once you were taking off. It then had this power boost, which takes her up to 175. So there's a 5 horsepower power boost on the Kubota. So 170 with a 5 horsepower boost. We look at the Dio. Rated horsepower in the Dio, we have to go right across the whole way to the 6930, 155 horsepower. So it's 155 out of the box. So it's 15 horsepower down in the Kubota straight out. So which is a little bit on the surprising side. Rated intelligent power management. So that's in PTO and transport application. This is the boost end for the Dio basically. So right across, it's 180 horsepower then on it. Now, I'm not sure on the Kubota, but on the Dio, the boost kicks in when you get above 10 kilometers an hour and in PTO application. So once the PTO is on, the boost is already there. You have that extra, it was 25 horsepower on the Dio. So when we were taking off the bottom of each hill with with both tractors. The Kubota had a 15 horsepower advantage, believe it or not, which surprises me now when I see this. Then once you get up to a point, the point being 10 kilometers an hour, the Deere then pulls up 25 horsepower that it hadn't got at the start. So maybe this is why, like in doing the pull, I would have bet everything. I would have bet the 6930 that it would have outpulled the Kubota. And at the finish line on both occasions, the 6930 was a couple of kilometers, 3 kilometers faster at the finish line than what the Kubota was. But the issue was that the power boost was coming in too late for it to make the difference early on the hill where it was needed. So Kubota had that advantage pulling up. The Deere then, the boost kicked in when you get over 10 kilometers an hour. The speed started to come, but it was all too late. The finish line came too soon. If the finish line had to be further away, say the Deere would have bet it. And should have done, if I didn't know this, I would have done another test, say on a longer hill or over a longer distance, and see which tractor would have won it, because it's just interesting. It would have been interesting just to see. So that was definitely a big advantage for the Kubota, the fact that it had that extra horsepower at the start. Now let's look at the torque. So max torque on the Kubota is 711 Newton meters of torque. We go down to the 6930 maximum torque. Now we'll have to follow it right across. 715. So very little in the difference torque wise. The Deere has a little bit more torque, but not very much more. So that's fairly good. Is there torque reserve on? There's no torque reserve given on the Kubota. There is on the Deere. It is 38% on the Deere. So yeah, you can't compare that. So very little of the difference torque wise. Engine wise, like the Kubota, it's slightly smaller engine, but not much smaller compared to, like, it's way bigger than the 4-cylinder John Deere size of engine. So yeah, the engine size is not the capacity of the engine is, there isn't that much in the difference. Let's just check the weights of the two tractors and just see. The Kubota is quite heavy, I think, from memory. Shipping weight is 6,300 kgs of the Kubota. Now, we'll look at what the shipping weight of the Deere is, dimensions and weights. Where are we? There's the second one up. So we'll go right across to the very end to the, so it's 5.8, you may say 5.9, so there's about 400 kilos of difference in weight of the two tractors, which surprises me very much so. I would have thought that the Deere was heavier in driving it and using it in the field. Now, I'm wondering, it doesn't say here in this, but I'm wondering, does the Kubota include having a weight block or its weights on it? Now, it doesn't say it, but I'd be just wondering that. I would have been fairly sure that the Deere would have been a lot heavier. It's height-wise, there wasn't much in the difference, but it was a lot longer and a bit steadier on the road, even, not just as bouncy. But yeah, still look at very impressed with how the Kubota has done, and a bit shocked that it was beaten, that the Deere was beaten, to be honest. But look at it, it maybe answers a couple of questions to why that the Deere struggled initially on the takeoff. Was the fact that it was down. Another thing too was the gear change. You had to make a gear change on the Deere going up both hills, and that just lost a little bit of momentum. The Kubota had 6 changes inside of each gear, so you were able to just tap up through them, and it was a huge advantage. But look, you're not going to make excuses. The Kubota was set up in such a way that it pulled better and won on this occasion. So fair dues to it. As I said in different videos, we were very, very impressed with the Kubota. Really liked it. Very usable, very good tractor. So we're not going to take absolutely anything away from it at all. So that's it. A lot of people was looking for this video for a long time. I hope you enjoyed it. Might at some stage do a bit of a look through. I've quite a selection of John Deere brochures and other manufacturers too, and different machine brochures. So you can see it just keeps going back to the 50 series. 40 series, goes right the whole way back. So anyone who would like to see any of those, drop a message down below, and we'll do something on that maybe in the future. We'll probably do it over a couple of videos or something like that, or maybe even do a live stream, we'll see. So that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, hope it was worth waiting for. Don't forget to hit the sub button, leave a like on the video, comment down below what you think of the video, and the result in the video as well. Comment down what you think of that, and yeah, we will see you in the next one.